Hope everybody can hear me, and I hope I sound decent. Let's get rid of some stuff real quick so I can see what I sound like. Maybe lower that. There we go. Looks like I sound okay. Hopefully I sound okay to you guys. Oh, my goodness. I want to say thank you very much for bearing with me. Last week, I know I missed the stream. Week before we broke and did the Castlevania, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, which I gave kind of a brief review on, and we'll add that to my repertoire in terms of a channel that will be added. But before I really get started and get back into the swing of things, I want to go ahead and start kind of giving or dropping a couple of hints or giving some outright stuff that I will be working on. And hopefully will be coming out on my other channels, etc. If you're looking for what I'm doing, what I'm up to, and hopefully you might give me a little bit of grace when it comes to some inconsistencies that could occur as a result of it. First thing is I'm working on a joint channel now, because and out of respect for the other person, and I haven't gotten to confer with them on this, I don't want to give a lot of detail, but I do want to give at least enough detail to let you know that I will be working on a joint channel that I'm excited about, and that should be coming hopefully here in the near future, just depending on when we can kind of get everything put together. But I would be I'm going to be incredibly excited to get this going. And essentially, it's just going to be a candid place to talk games and love of games. It's not going to be game news. It's not going to be what's going on in the industry. It's not going to be what kind of drama is Frosk, what's her name, doing these days. We don't, none of that. It's just talking about games, loving games, playing games, and then talking about things that we do and don't like about the games, right? And the differences of opinion, right? Rating games kind of informally, but somewhat giving kind of a light critical eye to it, and not being swayed by the kind of general or a greater opinion on it. There are some games that are really popular that I know that we don't have great opinions of, and there are games that are not so popular that we kind of enjoy, and some that I absolutely love. So, kind of giving foreshadowing there. I am also going to be working on a new channel called Retro Reviews. Nothing too terribly fancy about that, but hopefully, if I can remember to do it, I will drop that channel's link down in the comments below as well, and you're more than welcome to check it out. It's currently empty, though, so essentially what it's going to be is a post-editorial format, one that I've done before. And so if you've seen any of my post-edit stuff, which would be earlier videos on this channel or anything on the Mechanos Cards channel, on the Mechanos Cards channel, there's a tutorial for how to do a spring, and that's kind of post-edit. So if you kind of like the post-edit scripted style video, this is going to be your channel for it. I'm going to be writing reviews absolutely honest to what I liked about them. Whether or not that they're popular outside of me is irrelevant. They will focus mostly on retro games. So if you're someone who's looking for the newest information on Resident Evil 4 Remake, and you really want that review and just day one, that's great. I'm probably not going to be the first channel to have that. If you are picking up a Super Nintendo system because either you weren't a part of that generation, or if you are repicking one up after several years of not having one and are looking to try to build that library back up again, then I might be what you're looking for, rating some of the more niche games that have come out for that, as well as games that I believe that were just criminally underrated or overrated. And so you're saying, well, I want to build up my retro library. Well, my hope is in Retro Reviewed, I can help you do that. And then the last thing is on the Mechanos Cards channel. I currently have shorts, and the shorts go up to TikTok, so I'm working on trying to do stuff for that. The shorts go up on TikTok. They hadn't been going up on YouTube. I currently have a couple of weeks blocked out with just little shorts that are effects that you guys can see, and these are more performance orientated. So if you are more interested in watching a performance than actually picking up a pack of cards and learning a new trick with them, these hopefully will scratch that itch for you. But what I'm looking for on this channel is what people want to see or want to learn. What kind of performances do you like? Do you better digest content when it is... do you better digest the TikTok style short content, or do you prefer longer form performance and content? And are you looking for lessons, or are you looking to be performed for? So those kinds of things. It's very, very helpful to me to know what people are looking for so that I can kind of create and cater accordingly. So, all that having been said, when we last left off playing Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, goodness, Order of Ecclesia, we were... I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over. We were... trying not to let it go to sleep. We were playing the game. We had gotten into the secret house, and we were kind of just going through. This is a hard game, and I also haven't played it since the last episode. I'm going to move the mic a little closer so you guys can hear the full voice, even if I move away a little bit. We were in the Mystery Manor, and I died attempting to collect... I'll just go ahead and show you this. I can always resave the game. This dark room. This room was completely pitch black, and just these little spiky things were illuminated. And now here I am, and I've gotten that already. I've spared you guys, because I did die, I think, once or twice more. But I spared you guys that. What it gave me, excuse me, well, not a relic, it gave me a glyph. Was a light glyph, which I believe, or a darkness glyph, actually. Give me, what is it? I'll look at it now. Let's see if I can find it. It's not that one. It's not that one. Maybe it is the one I'm holding. It's Volumbra, right? Which is darkness? Let's see.
Darkness!
Yeah, it's actually this one. What if I switch my offhand glyph to light? And I could be wielding light and dark. Light is full illuminatio.
Light!
So now I have light and darkness. And then what happens with light and darkness, I didn't need to jump up there, is I can fight him with those. I'll just save it. We'll walk in immediately to a boss fight. And it's probably going to take me a minute to get his pattern. We've been chasing him around. He's been giving us stuff, but we don't understand why. He wants the glyphs. He's saying, I want the Dominus glyph. I want to do this, but at the same time, he's been giving us the parts of the glyph. But it looks like he's got like he's two minds right now. So you can see something's talking to his head. So it's Dracula in his head. I don't remember what his patterns look like.
Vertical shot! Ah! Darkness! Light! Darkness! Light! Darkness!
Vertical shot!
Darkness!
Vertical shot! Take this!
Darkness!
And bullet!
I think I need to get that from him. Oh, shoot. That's what he did.
And bullet!
Okay, I got it from it's Acerbatus? Acrobatus? Acrobatus. I'm gonna say that. It sounds a lot worse. Call forth the power of spite. I wonder how powerful that is. He's real fast when he does that.
Step in, bullet!
Light!
Star shot!
Attack!
You should just use this on him.
Ah!
Attack!
Ah! Vertical shot! You can dodge this!
Oh, it's the freezing glyphs that he's using. I wonder, do I have a healing item? I should hopefully have one. Oh shoot, it does it if it touches you even after the fact.
Vertical shot! You can dodge this!
Dang it, that kind of sucks a little bit.
You can dodge this!
Oh, okay.
Step in, bullet! Star shot!
Oh, okay, it doesn't make it that far.
You can dodge this!
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Vertical shot! Vertical
The
shot!
question, darkness definitely hurts him a lot more than the light. But I wonder, he's using light and darkness. I kind of wonder why.
You can dodge this!
He doesn't stay back when he does that.
Take this!
I kind of wonder why. Is it because Dracula's in there that he's taking like a green tint to him?
Dodge this!
Okay, I've already absorbed your ability to do that. The crystally thing.
You can dodge this!
Yeah. All I have to do is move away slightly. It reminds me of the like, oh, son of a gun. It kind of reminds me of the like Han Solo Star Wars thing. He was like, I'm gonna list lazily to the left, and it's like, oh well, this guy knows some maneuvers. Okay, I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm not saying he's not difficult to dodge some attacks for sure, but it's not so far. It's not that bad. He may get more.
Step in, bullet!
Okay, I'm just gonna scoot away. He may get more. I mean, there's maybe something he's doing, but I will go ahead and use a couple of other potions just because.
Star shot!
Okay, that's a really cool bullet with the like
Vertical shot!
skull. See, that takes away 1/6 of your health, and it's just a regular old bullet.
Star shot! You can dodge this! Ah!
Let's kind of let him sit there.
Shinoa!
Oh my goodness, that was really all there was to it? Okay, that was not a bad, just to be completely clear, that was not a hard fight. Okay, so I do know, so I've been, for those of you who have been following, especially if you take a look at the previous, I think it's the previous episode, which I believe is called Rescuing the, I think Rescuing the 13. This is the point where you have an alternate ending, so I'm going to tell you the ending that we didn't get. And I guarantee you, the ending that we didn't get is not satisfying. I am not spoiling anything. I'll return the final piece. So I have 2 of them already. This is my final piece, and if I try to leave, she'll be like, no, I shouldn't. Which, of course, we shouldn't. Okay. And I think it automatically warps us to the... Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, so this all happens the same. And so we're learning that they're kind of an adopted, it's an adopted piece. She is his, she's really his he's really her adopted. They're adopted into this order, and they're kind of taking on the roles of brother, sister, under Barlow, who is taking the role of father, kind of. And so they were taken in, I guess, a younger age, and they have always kind of been that way, and Albus has always kind of tried to be the big brother. Ash Talks Game says, "Hey all, hey Ash, how you doing? Hope you're doing all right today." It's been an unusual weekend for certain, so I offer apologies if anything kind of seems a little different. Obviously, this is going to be mellow any which way, but thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'd say this has been mellow either which way. Just we had so much stuff going on. It was just in all different directions, truly in all different directions. So, just as best as possible, trying to kind of mellow out, take some time to play some games and do some stuff. So, there we go. So yeah, we figure out that they were brother sister adopted brother sister for this order, and that Albus has always been trying to play big brother, and he's always been trying to protect her and kind of step in front of the knife or the bullet for her. And Barlow has told us that he took her memories, but it's actually the glyph that he took away from her that took her memories. So now it looks like he may have actually been trying to protect her. This is actually, in my opinion, this is actually probably of the three, honestly, this is probably the saddest story. Also, it's the best, but I think it's also the saddest. So we killed him, but he exists because we absorbed the glyph, and so he exists in that glyph. Well, the artwork on this was a DS game that came out literally 2008. This is a DS game that they didn't spare any expense on. Look at the artwork is just fantastic. Just I think everything was painted. I know it's obviously this is way before AI art generation, but the artist is just super. I think this is the same artist that was working at, I can't remember what her name is at this moment, but the one that worked on the paintings for Symphony of the Night. And so, and to think, this is the other thing that's crazy about that. This is only 11 years after Symphony of the Night came out. That's not that big of a gap. Now, I mean, Symphony of the Night is like, 1997. That's what, 24 years, or no, shoot. It's 2023 already. So, yeah, 97 is 26 years ago. Good Lord. And so it's like, oh, okay, 1997. I mean, that's not that old, but 1997. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, Symphony of the Night's an old game. It was only 10 years or 11 years before this, and then now here this game is setting on, 15 years old. I'm not reading everything out, just because there's so much definition to it, and it does kind of get convoluted. What it basically is the glyphs that he has been taking, the Dominus glyphs, are third portions of a singular power that is Dracula's, and they follow hatred and darkness. I'll take a look. We now have all three, so I'll show you which ones they are. But they're the Dominus glyphs. He took them because he wanted to use them to eradicate Dracula, because he was told that the glyphs would be lethal to use. So he figured if he used them, he would die and you wouldn't. And he was taking blood from the villagers, not because he was evil, but because each of those villagers are blood related in some way, distant though it may be, to the Belmonts who disappeared. And they're the only ones that are supposed to be able to have in their lineage enough power to take down Dracula. So he was freezing them, taking blood from them, analyzing it, and then we were rescuing them before he came back to get additional blood samples. So he actually was trying this entire time to defeat Dracula himself, find out what Barlow knew, because Barlow wouldn't share it, and he was going to die and take the fall and eradicate Dracula, and Shinoa could stay alive. as well as he learned things about Barlow that he didn't want to get out. So we already know that. We've been using Dominus this for several parts of this game, and every time you use Dominus, you lose life. But he's promising that we don't use it. He's asking us to promise that we won't use it. But I probably will in a boss fight. Yeah, we still don't have our emotions back, and we don't have all of our memories, but... yeah, see right there. It's kind of it's a weird state to be in. I know Shanoa knows she's supposed to care, but she doesn't care. But she's logically saying, I'm not gonna let this happen. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm just gonna use a ticket, because what we're about to do is actually going to be pretty tough. I'm gonna go and save my game. And we're gonna go by Jacob's store. But yeah, each of these guys are related somehow to Belmont, so... with none of them looking at all like any Belmont.
Welcome. Hey, want to buy something?
Yeah, let's buy some potions, I think. Do you have anything else better, actually? I don't think he does. I don't... this isn't gonna be a... if he's got stuff that helps my attack power, great. If he's got stuff that doesn't, then I can't. It doesn't matter. No, I want to keep my strength. I want to keep my strength up. How far did my strength go up with that? It doesn't. Okay. Because my attack power is bad. If my strength goes down, my attack power goes down, so I don't want that. So any of these are going to be worse, so okay. So we're just going to use item, and we'll do some potions. I can afford to do 2 of those and some meat. Oh no, just 2. And then I can also afford to do meat. Do I have anything to sell? Maybe I have something to sell. Let's take a peek. Boop. Not really. I could sell this lucky clover that I'm not using. It wouldn't be enough to give me anything, really, though. That's fine. I think we're okay.
Come back again.
Okay. And to you, Ash, I hope you're okay with me offering a bit of a teaser for everything. I didn't say anything. I didn't spoil anything or any go in depth with any of that kind of stuff. But I did go ahead and make a brief mention of some things that should hopefully be coming down the pipeline at some point. Staying about as vague as I can stay, because obviously I don't like to spoil. And the other thing I don't want to do is, oh yeah, no, it was at the very beginning. I gave a couple of what I'm working on kind of pieces without saying anything major. So I've teased some of the stuff I'm working on with my own stuff and then other joint affairs, let's say. There we are. So yeah, it was kind of the long-winded beginning of the stream. All right. So we're back in. This is another thing. Like, just look at this. Look at all this. My goodness. And then if you take a look at what I really like, there's kind of like it's almost kind of like a mode 7 or a parallax. You have a. I'll go ahead and save it in here. That way I don't have to start all the way from Weigel each time. But you can actually see that the foreground moves faster than the background, which I think is really cool. I know that's just me being a nerd, but I think it's really cool. Also, this is just beautiful. It's a beautiful chapel. Look at that. Alright, back to what I was supposed to be doing. So everything about this game is such a level of polish that I think is awesome. Okay. So this is actually where the ending we're not going to get happens. I'm not gonna spoil it. Well, I will spoil it because it's a bad ending, and nobody's gonna want it, but... We're going into the Forbidden Room, literally negating the name of the title of the room. And then what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be using Dominus, but we're not going to. And he was the one that pointed us to Barlow. And now it's that our emotions, our ability to care and love and all that, was sacrificed to obtain Dominus. He just kind of shrugs. He's like, yeah, it's fine. So that's not a trustworthy looking face. Okay. So this is actually pretty tricky, by the way. Okay. So what normally would happen at this point in time, if you didn't rescue all the 13, which is what we spent time doing in the previous Castlevania episode, that's your ending right there. You use Dominus. You don't get the information from Albus. He doesn't make you promise not to use Dominus. You use Dominus just like Barlow asks you to. It kills you. You fall down hearing Barlow's final words, and then what it does is fades to black screen. Chino is dead, and then it goes to show all of the different villagers that you missed, and you have to rescue them. So you have to start from your previous save game, go find those other villagers before this. You don't even get to this fight.
Darkness!
Oh, that's not going to do the trick at all. I got to figure out which... I'm going to take... I need to figure out... I think the glyph that works better... I think Acrobatus works well on him. Let's see. I am gonna look this up because I do remember this being a pretty hefty fight. So let me at least not completely suck. I love the music for this too. It's just such a like it's a good boss theme. Ecclesia. I just want to see. No, that's not right. I want to see. That way, I don't have to go trial and error all of them. I don't want to have to. I don't remember what. I think he's. Let's see. This is actually Volacia is probably the best one. And it says either or of those is a pretty good one. Let's take a peek. I wonder. I may be able to use the light and the dark glyphium. Would you rather see a traditional 2D Castlevania or a 3D Castlevania when Konami brings it back? Because there are rumors. I hope they do. What I hope happens is I hope Konami realizes that Castlevania DLC in Dead Cells was as huge as it was. And obviously they will because they're making the money on that. So that's what I want them to do. I want them to see how big that was and then realize people are craving it. I am certainly partial to the 2D. I would not be opposed to seeing... here's what I would love, and this is going to be probably not in demand at all. What I would love to see is we have so many good Castlevania games, and they've kind of wrapped up the Dracula story, and I think they did a really bad job of it. So the last Castlevania game, chronologically in terms of the Dracula story, is Dawn of Sorrow, which is the third and final game for the DS. Omega Ace has played that on his channel, so if anybody decides they want to see a good playthrough of that, I'd recommend heading over and taking a peek at his playthrough. It's quite good. But basically what happens is Dracula is... It's not... Castle Dracula keeps coming up. Dracula, like, lives inside of an eclipse. Dracula's castle spawns inside of an eclipse, and you have to be Chaos, the power that furnishes, or the thing that furnishes Dracula's power. And Dracula's trying to reinvent, or trying to reconstitute. Instead of all of the other times where he's been able to not have to possess people, he's just been able to come back. Now this time he's got to possess a high school student in Japan, and I'm like, my goodness, this is just so convoluted. What I would love to see is either a Julius Belmont. There supposedly was a big, huge fight chronologically in 1999 where Julius Belmont puts Dracula down, and it's like a body slam, and Dracula's having a little bit more trouble of a time getting out of it. But he does eventually get out of it. I would love to see that. I would love to see that game, or I would love them. There's so much buzz with the Castlevania series. Requiem's come back out. Requiem's coming out, rather, which is the second story in the Castlevania Netflix series. I want them to go back and remake from the ground up Castlevania 3. That's my favorite Castlevania, the one for the NES. I want to see a ground up story-based make of that game. I think it would be awesome. Konami were such a big deal back in the day. I don't think they're hated as bad as they're made out to be lately, though. They're slowly coming back, I feel. The thing that I despised them about, the thing that really caused me to be upset with them, was the way that they treated Hideo Kojima with the Metal Gear series. I thought that was pretty slipshod. I didn't like the way that they kind of treated Koji Igarashi's approach to bringing Castlevania back. I didn't like the fact that they wanted to push Castlevania and other major and well-beloved properties into pachinko machines. To me, I felt like that was probably the most greedy feeling thing. So... It's Simon Backwards is actually Bela Lugosi. It's not. Simon Backwards is not. It's Namus. It would be cool to see that too. Oh, crud. I'm gonna go ahead and do the light dark. I'm gonna just try to see if I can use the unions. I need these in the opposite slots. That's what I think would be cool, though. Oh, I hate that thing. Okay, he's actually tough. I'm gonna get his patterns down. He shouldn't be able to get me from way over here.
Darkness! Light! Light!
The light actually seems to hurt him pretty bad.
Light! Light!
Take that!
Okay, I probably should go ahead and use a couple of potions. Oh, he can hit me in the corner there. And he also knows these glyphs. He also knows a lot of the magics of those. So I'm gonna stand here, set here again. I like Kojima for the record. I do too. Kojima is, his writing is odd. His writing is odd in my opinion, but I think he's...
Take that! Ecclesia! You!
Oh, shoot.
Still.
Dang it. Okay. Let's see. While I do believe Konami Kojima Fallout was probably the fault of Konami for the most part. I bet Kojima's a nightmare to work with. You know, seems like the type. He seems like the artsy type. It's like he wants to this kind of artist that has this passion for seeing a vision that is his despite who it steps on. I agree with that. I like Kojima too. His stuff is just, in my opinion, it's a little too much. Writing wise.
Take that.
Well, you don't get hardly any. You get hardly any time to absorb that.
Ecclesia, you.
Light. Last attack.
I'll go ahead and use that.
Last attack.
Connectors.
And that'll take him down by 600 already. He can hit you there, but it's so freaking random.
Light.
Connectors.
It's the best place I've thought of to stay, though.
Light.
There it is. Nice, Globus.
Connectors.
Light.
Take that.
I don't know. Oh shoot! That's what I was trying not for that to happen.
Ecclesia. Inexperience.
Experience. Let me out of the thing. Let me out of the ice. Sheesh. He's just inexperienced, but he also needs a book to do it. So I don't. So who knows? The problem I have is how his writing is looked at as masterful and mind-blowing. I just don't see it. Still, he enjoys games. Still, I enjoy his games. Some people just put it on too high. So there are things that I think are great, and there are things that I don't writing. And here, this is gonna probably get me in trouble. I think, personally, that the thing that caught me the most with his writing was Death Stranding. Like, Death Stranding it's a weird world. But it's a world, and it's a cohesive one. And where his writing falls short is Metal Gear. Metal Gear is something we know and we have experience in, and it's just, there could be a straight shot about it. It could be about a terrorist organization building a robot that's this, but it's always something else that we have no. Oh, we've got Ghostface. Oh, we've got these random people who can teleport, who are pyrokinetic, who are telekinetic. And I'm like, I don't mind that. But it's so convoluted. We've got this. Is the big threat the robot, or is it the millions of people that are being added to this XOF army that can literally just melt your mind? So for me, I like Death Stranding because it is a world that he's built that you're kind of like, okay, he's telling me fresh. I don't have any expectation. Whereas Metal Gear started out and is named for this like weapon of mass destruction, and it's really undersold by the majority of antagonists who are 10 times more powerful or more dangerous. So that's personally what I feel like. I would love to write Metal Gear to be. If I were going to write Metal Gear, and I'm not going to add major rewrites, I'm just going to add a couple of major points, a couple of bullet points, not major points. I would take away a lot of the supernatural aspect. It would be about the Fox versus the XOF. There could be the betrayal, the big boss stuff, and all that. That's all good. That's fine. Just keep that in. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3 is a great game, and ultimately the story is really good. And then we move to, again, my opinion, we keep this. We keep a couple of characters like Ghostface in it, and there's no supernatural. Ghostface is a burn victim from he's a Black Ops operative, super proficient Black Ops operative, seasoned and experienced, who lost a fight through a fluke to such and such back in the day, and is still out there plotting. And then all of the sudden, now we've got kind of a more straightforward story, and you know, then you take all those supernatural and put it into the Death Stranding and all that. Apparently, the actress who played Ada in the RE4 remake has deleted her Instagram following constant hateful messages. I didn't like her performance in the game, but sending hate messages, insanity. I haven't met Miss Wong in the remake yet. I hadn't gotten to play it quite that far, as I'm kind of jumping through a couple of games. Really quick, just to throw this out there, games that I'm playing, I'm kind of jumping between things because it's so good. I'm playing Resident Evil 4 Remake, obviously, but then I also jumped in and started playing Kranos, which is fun, which is great. Oh my goodness, it's so good. You showed me that, so big thanks to Ash for sending the notification for Kranos. On Switch, it was $12 US, which is it's really cool. I also am maybe I'm dumb, but I got a copy of Vegas Stakes for the Super Nintendo. It's a super cheap game, but Vegas Stakes I like. So here's my thing: I'm a card cheat. I do card cheating. For real, I can't get a Square game to save my life. But the thing that was cool is Vegas Stakes isn't just a traditional boring old, mom and dad casino game. It's got little random events that happen, and there's actually a story kind of to it. And it's made by HAL Laboratories, the guys that made Kirby and Smash Bros. So it's actually the most interesting casino-style game I think I've ever played. You can literally be in the middle of a hand of poker, and somebody come up to you and try to con you by selling you a diamond ring that's fake. And you won't know. You buy the diamond ring or you don't. You get to choice, and then you won't know. Either you'll later on, like in the hand, you'll play 2 or 3 hands more, and then you'll figure out that you were scammed, or that the ring was stolen and that you have to return it without compensation, or that it was genuine and you just made a profit, or there's all kinds of little. It's really cool. But the game's literally, you can pick the game up for like $3-4 American. So I've been playing that. And then a friend of mine was very sweet and gave me a copy of the new Metroid game for the Switch, which I'm starting. So I've got 4 games that I'm kind of jumping between for fun. Actually, and I'm working really hard on the card thing too. Actually, I had my wedding ring. My wife had my wedding ring, allowed me to get my wedding ring upgraded, so it now has a poker hand built into it, which is kind of epic. I'll actually have to send a picture of that out. She's great for allowing me to do that to my wedding ring. So let's see. But yeah, I don't think that's the other thing. I don't think anybody should get any hate for that. And here's the difference: calling someone out for something is different. The actress that played Bayonetta, her maybe being called out for being dishonest or misleading when that whole fiasco was going on. That's fine, but not hate, no death threats. No doxing, like, just call her out and move on. Being a huge John Carpenter fan, too, the idea that Kojima is looked at as incredibly unique for creating Snake, when it's literally based on Snake from Escape from New York. Yep. No, he borrowed a lot. He borrowed a ton of stuff. I mean, that the cover art even for the first Metal Gear game for the Nintendo is literally just a copy trace paint-in of friggin' an image from Terminator. Like that's the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. They then got I can't even think of his name right now. They got the artist that they've had for like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 or 1, 2, and 3. I can't think of his name right now. That guy is absolutely amazing. Influences perfectly, but yeah, he's absolutely based on Snake from Escape from New York. What was the Kurt? Is it? I can never. Is it Kurt Russell that played him? I think it is. I can't remember. Influence is perfectly fine, but when people act like it's fresh and unique is what I find. Well, the thing about it though is, when you talk about that, yeah, you say that, and I think it's fun to take inspiration from things, but I don't think a lot of people have. And this is a personal opinion. I think a lot of critics. Don't have as wide of a frame of reference as they want it to, and I mean online critics, not professional. I think they don't have as wide of a frame of reference as they want people to think they have. They don't know. They've never seen. A lot of people have never seen Escape from New York. They know nothing about it. So, it's fresh, it's new, but you've never seen that. And it's like, MGS3 is rumored to be getting a remake. Oh my gosh, I hope so. What I would love, they did a collection back in the PS3 days. for $50 you can get it, and it's literally got 10 Metal Gear games all the way from the beginning to end. And it's probably the most in an era of HD up collections and all this other stuff. That is probably the most well spent money on a collection I think I've ever had. But I would absolutely love 1, 2, 3, 4 ground up remakes. I would love that. Because for me, I love those games, but I think the controls need some. For me, the controls are wonky. I think they need some better controls.
Boost you! Take that! Honey truce!
Oof.
Take that!
Dang. I have to eat some, not rotten meat, that'll hurt me, meat. Okay.
Honey truce!
Okay, that might be what I need to do, is just make a little...
Boost you! Take that! Boost you!
I've got 9 health.
Ecclesia! You! Take that!
Yeah, there was just no way. Haven't started Crano yet, been so busy, spared, and any spared... Oh, that's fair. And I'm not going to give all the gory details, except for to say that it is absolutely worth any of the money that was spent on it. It is really good. It's really fun. It's got a good color scheme, it's got a nice little premise. I mean, it's all just fun. Go ahead and take 660 health from him. 612.
Ecclesia! You! Cool! Boost you!
Takes 66 damage each time. I don't remember how much health he has. 4,500, I think it is.
Take that! Boost you!
Yeah, I need to shoot it. Definitely need to shoot him closer to him. I'm trying to figure out what this spell he's saying is for that.
Honey truce!
Yeah, that does stretch my hitbox out a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, I figure for people that are looking to play between those two, I figured probably Resident Evil 4 would take priority, and I understand why.
Take that! Cool! Boost you!
Oh, shoot.
Take that! Honey truce!
There we are. Just had this really cheap pot of Japanese curry noodles. So good. Oh, that sounds good. I don't get to eat like everybody else, but that does sound good. I don't get to have those kinds of foods. I get to eat. I eat one meal a day. It's got to be, or at night rather. It can't be a day. Not an intentional oddity, I assure you. Just 3 decades of necessity, I suppose.
Take that! Boost you!
kind of a figure of 8 pattern that's best to make for that fire.
Ecclesia!
Light!
Die, Shanoa! How dare you! Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple! Damn.
Good lord! Can you not snack? No, I cannot. If I eat, I cannot go anywhere. I cannot travel, so I have to instead travel. And then I eat at night whenever I have nowhere to go. Criminal looks really great. I'll start it tomorrow. Platform with horror, Halloween, spooky setting made for me. Well, I don't know if you want me to say. The aesthetic is very reminiscent of a game that I know that you like. I'm sure you saw it in the trailer, but it's great. That's the Crano game? Or my eating?
Light! Last attack! Last attack!
Take that!
He doesn't start doing those punches until he's below halfway. So that was a good indicator that I was doing well.
Honey, truce!
My eating, yeah.
Light!
No, I just have a condition, that's all. Doesn't let me eat like most people do. That's all. Dealt with it for years and years and years.
Honey, truce!
I can't eat, and even when I eat, I can't eat the food that several people get to eat either. I can't have most vegetables, for example.
Take that!
Light!
Which is a shame, because I really like vegetables. I can have kale and spinach, which are my favorite, thankfully, so, of the vegetables, but I can't have broccoli or cauliflower, or Brussels sprouts, or
Ecclesia! You!
anything cruciferous. Beets.
Light!
Take that!
Dang it.
Light! Light!
Dang it. I was trying to jump.
Light!
Let's go ahead and use...
Take that!
Dang it.
Light!
Honey, truce!
I guess yours are limited too.
Take that!
Oh, yeah, no, I had forgotten about that, but yeah, yeah.
Light!
Honey, truce!
Yeah, I can't do that. I obviously can't have a lot of sweets and carbs as well, but it's for a different reason.
Light!
Die, Shanoa! How dare you! Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple!
I like how upset he gets about that, and I think that's actually really a cool touch that they put in. There it is.
Light!
Ecclesia! You!
Light!
Die, Shanoa! How dare you! Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple!
Light!
Honey, truce!
Light!
Take that!
Oh, I just barely dodged that.
Shanoa! How dare you! Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple!
Light! Light!
Take that! Damn you!
Dang it. It's so close. If I either have too little or too much sugar, things go south bad. Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, no, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think it's anything quite like that. It's I have a thing in my blood. We'll say that I have a thing in my blood that prevents me from being able to eat most of it. And the reason I don't travel when I do it is because I within a couple of minutes I'll know if I'm sick, and I'll immediately my body will immediately reject the food. And oftentimes it gets to be a little rough. So I don't like to have to pull over on the side of the road if I snack. I don't want to have to pull out on the side of the road and somebody come over and, oh, do you need help? No, I'm okay. My body's gonna reject this food for the next 30 minutes. I love the maniacal laughter. I think that's great.
Take that! Take that!
So I want to absorb it each time. I don't need to. I just need it once, but... Didn't get it in time. Oh shoot, Glacius.
Glacius!
That's what I wanted. Believe it or not, this actually is a hard fight. Sheesh. And I'm sorry, I'm very uber focused on it for just a second. Let me pause it saying tried to watch Rooster Teeth, Giant Bomb, and Kinda Funny over last week. 3 channels I was a big fan of. Back to the game. Same with Vanilla, they are practically the same. Yeah, it's crazy. If I were gonna pick channels that I still think are funny, or fun to watch today, that's so fascinating. Oh, well, I'm glad that I've offered something interesting in that. It's just kind of been the way my reality for a couple of decades, a few decades, but yeah. But to your channel piece, yeah, the channels that I still watch that I enjoyed from back in the day. Some Markiplier, especially when it comes to playing horror. He did a game series called Faith, which are on GOG right now. I think they're like $15 on sale at $22 normally, which is awesome. I think that's good. I like some Game Grumps episodes are not great anymore. Just you can tell that they're tired. But I do like several of them, and watching them play through the Resident Evil remake, especially because they only started doing it today, whereas I've been playing it now and I'm ahead of them. That's been hilarious. That's been great. But I miss their old stuff. I like it when they go retro, and they actually went retro. They did a Sam and Max trilogy where they went back to point and click. I love those. I think those are great. And then JonTron. JonTron's always great. He came out with a video literally and his is not even just gaming related anymore. I think it's still hilarious. I think he's freaking hilarious. Those from ones that I've been. I love Last Stand Media, ran by Colin Moriarty, who is at IGN. Yep, I remember. Colin Moriarty was a big deal, literally just a couple of years ago too, just by himself. Co-founded Kinda Funny before they threw him under the bus. Yep. I used to love Giant Bomb too. Crazy how every OG member is now left. Same thing with Normal Boots. Everyone kind of got caught in scandal because Normal Boots was founded by JonTron and Peanut Butter Gamer. Peanut Butter Gamer's still funny too, honestly. And I do like the Completionist, although I was never into him for the comedy. I was into him more for the amount of just massive amount of talent he has to complete some of these games. Season Gaming is cool too, and 2-player co-op, really big fan. Nice. Okay, I'll have to check them out. Yeah, JonTron's great. He's funny. He's not afraid to say what he means. But what I was saying, Normal Boots, JonTron and Peanut Butter Gamer did that. And then JonTron got caught in the scandal, the 2015 scandal, so he left. Peanut Butter Gamer, I think, still maybe there. And then they had the Pro Jared scandal in May of 2019. That was a thing, so he left. So, you know, I think PBG might be there in completion, but it's like, what happened? He had Screw Attack. I still like AVGN too. I think he's, I think his stuff is way different, but I think it's good. Honestly, he did one called, like, The Last Ninja, I think. And, I really like that one because they brought back the old, like, Mike Matei animated thumbnail cards. And he actually filmed it on, like, a green screen where it looked like he was doing the review from his old apartment in 2006. Or 2007. Like, that was a cool... If you get a chance, I think it's The Last Ninja. That AVGN episode is super cool. It's fun, but, like, there are things that he did that I thought were so clever. He filmed the first part. I mean, it's definitely some of it him, but he's got, like... He films it with the original AVGN intro, a Mike Matei animated card, title card or thumbnail, and then he does it on the green screen to make it look like he's in his old apartment. And then he writes the review to even include mistakes that he's been on record as saying that he wished he hadn't done. Like accidentally repeating phrases and words, and I thought that was so cool, and I'd love for them to go back to that. But I mean, his stuff is great though. Like he's always trying something new, which I thought was really cool. Like when he did The Immortal, it was a one take, one shot review. He's going and he memorizes this whole script, has a camera follow him through these awesome sets, does his stuff one take, one cut, not one take, but one continuous shot, one memorized script. It was so cool. Why do so many of them fall into scandals? I think a lot of them, like, again, I'll say JonTron and Pro Jared. JonTron's, in my opinion, was him getting frustrated and not being, not on purpose, but not being the best debater, and falling into a trap of not conveying himself in a way that I don't think what he said is exactly what he meant. He put up a video talking about his actual beliefs, and I think that that's probably true, but it's just he didn't have experience, and so he went off and he did his thing, and it kind of faux pas, and he said, I'm gonna stick to not talking about my politics, and I'm gonna stick to talking about, and I was like, you know what, good man, just don't, you know, if you want to be a political debater, go do that, but you don't need to be in everything. Just be an artist, do your thing, and that's what he's done, and he's done a great job of it. Pro Jared thing, that whole thing was a mess, and it still is a mess. I mean, it's still a mess to this day. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It's easier and infinitely more gratifying than potentially losing a normal debate. That's funny. I like Mike too. Mike's cool. Mike was in a scandal also, but that was a while back, 2011, I think. So, but yeah, the Pro Jared thing was a huge scandal, and even now he's still got. I mean, I don't keep great track of Social Network, but I know he divorced his wife and went to be with the other very popular YouTuber, and they moved off and did their own thing, and now I think that YouTuber has said that they are upset at the time that they had with him, though they don't make any blatant accusations on his person specifically. It was more about just not being fulfilled, I think, in a... Oh, shoot, I didn't mean that.
Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple!
So, the thing about it to me is that that's all personal. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. But when you become a something of a celebrity, even an internet celebrity, intentional or otherwise, your information's going to get put out there. So you kind of do have to be a little squeaky clean. And I'm not saying you can't have wives and all this other stuff. Here's my opinion: if you're gonna have don't have an affair anyway, like public or not, don't have an affair. Like, you got a girlfriend, you got a wife, be with that person. If you're in the public, there's a bigger chance that it'll become a problem. And it's gonna be a problem anyway, because you just cheated on someone.
Raised you, stupid disciple!
But I don't think that's controversial. I think that's kind of just common decency. Don't be a jerk. Be faithful. But what do I know? That's deadly poisonous, so I'm not gonna eat that. Do I have anything that would give me enough hearts maybe to use that big one more time? I don't think I do. Phonograph. Let's see. That Pro Jared situation was all over the shop. Like, there was just so much that was done, I think, poorly.
How dare you! Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple!
Light!
Ustio!
Light!
Die, Shanoa! How dare you! Even forgetting who raised you! You! Stupid disciple!
Light!
Ustio!
The fire one is definitely the hardest one. Well, maybe the globes.
Light!
Die, Shanoa! How dare you!
His teleport punches sucks. They suck too, because sometimes he'll move up a level.
Stupid disciple!
And he hits hard. For a 70-year-old man, he hits real hard. There we go. Okay. Hey, we're in a house of, we're in a church. You can't say that. I'm just teasing. So now we realize that he wasn't actually trying to destroy Dracula's soul. He is trying to indeed unseal the vessel which holds Dracula's soul so that he can come by. Because that's kind of the story, the lore, is that Dracula comes by every 100 years. And every 100 years the forces of evil are more powerful. But anyway, what happens is no matter how deeply he's sealed up, his influence begins to spread kind of like a mist. And eventually people find themselves wanting the chaos that mist of his brings. And so you get some that are over susceptible, like Barlow here, who will be overwhelmed by it and literally just make his yeah, see, look at that, and literally just make his break the seal himself, make his own, Dracula will make his own escape, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because watch, he's given...
Dracula!
Look at that. See, he's like, he gave him his strength literally just to kill him so that he could come back. First try. I wish. I made the mistake of telling people personal things who I thought were friends. Lessons learned. I keep to myself now and that's fair. That's my... this is my... I don't understand this. I don't understand this. This is what I don't get. Conversations... I get where things slip. But conversations, especially personal ones, should stay between the people that speak them. I can say this now. My brother-in-law, I worked, the job that I worked at with my brother-in-law. Now, he and I covered different divisions, different territories. He gave me a heads up that he had found something new, something that was going to work better for him a week or so ahead of time. I'm great friends with all of my team and team leaderships, But that conversation, that information he gave me, doesn't go anywhere. That was, or didn't go anywhere. That was something that he gave to me ahead of time, and it wasn't my story to tell. Now, once he told everybody, then I was given some freedom to say, they asked, did you know? And my answer was, yeah, of course I did, but that's not mine to tell. And that's how I operate. That's how I like to operate. Like, I don't need to go and gossip about everything. The only person that I share just about everything with is my wife. And she's very much the same way. Like, if I didn't talk to you about it, or if I didn't expressly get your permission to talk about it, you don't. Yeah, and that's fine. I've made the mistake. I think I've made the mistake, or may have made the mistake, of addressing her by name in previous times. But I didn't know you'd wanted to keep it private. But yeah, of course, I'm not going to say anything. She's only told you 95% of my life. That's the other piece. Anna's a sweetheart, but that's the thing. If we haven't talked about it, she's very careful about what she says, not because she thinks I'm going to be mad with her, but just because she's very respectful of keeping things where they, in the conversations they stay in. Barlow backwards is Christopher Lee, though. It for the love of God, it's not. It's not. It's Uol Arb, or Rab, Uol Rab. Good. That's ugly backwards. Okay. Respect seems to be. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Privacy, not having to talk to everybody about everything all the time. Right, like that. There's a level of, and this is gonna be a word that sounds weird for it, but I promise it's not. Intimacy. And I don't mean it in a romantic context. I mean intimacy, the nature of intimate conversation, the nature of speaking with somebody. Okay, the nature of being able to speak with somebody about something, and that be your conversation, the both of you. And not have to go and tell everybody else that that's what's going on. And that's the thing. It's important. Let's say I'm having. Of course, I'm not. Anna and I are doing perfectly fine. But let's say that we were having a rough patch and I was confused. I wouldn't share any additional information, but I might go to a friend and say, "Hey, I'm having a rough patch here. Can you help me keep myself in line? Am I being the jerk? This is what was said." And the good friend would likely say, "Well, she did this, and that was probably not the best. But yeah, you're also kind of screwing up this part of things." And I would look at it and be like, "Oh, okay. Well, then that kind of thing is there." But then ideally, that friend would say. Keep that conversation right there and be like, no, I'm not going to tell anybody else. That whole thing's gone, Now it's, I'm going to make a TikTok with a little caption on it that says, had to talk to my friend today to give them some advice about their spousal issues. And you're like, what? So, at a rough second half of 2022, one of the worst times of my life, I've definitely said more to people than I should have. It's hard, but that's the thing, it's especially hard.
Oh, the melody isn't coming to me.
Oh, that's right, I hadn't done that. It's especially hard not to when you are yourself wired. I thought I'd get, what? Oh, okay. When you have that sense of respect or that sense of conversational dignity, you almost hold that it's not that you hold that expectation, you just don't hold the opposite as an expectation. You're like, oh, I would never tell anybody, therefore no one else would either. And it's so sad and disappointing at how wrong we are when we make that assumption. And I wish we weren't. I wish 90% of the time we were correct, but it just doesn't seem to play out that way, sadly. Did I get 3 gold ore? I think I only have 2 gold ore. Take a peek. Did I have 3?
Right.
Nope.
How is it?
Well, it sucks. I'm missing one. Thanks, Eugen. Alright, we'll go to Dracula's castle. Why not? Yeah, I love the look of the cat. Look at that. All these other buildings is like, okay, cool. And even Ecclesia, that big, beautiful church. And Dracula's like, nah, it's fine. Oh, look at this. So there was a point that was made, AVGN made it, and I think it was really good. Because all of the games had to take place inside of the castle after Symphony of the Night. This game does not. It is beautiful. You've gone all over these places. Now we go to Dracula's castle, and now we start to see the beginnings of what kind of looked like the road that Alucard was on in Symphony of the Night. You'll have to forgive this glitchy. I'm sure this is just an artifact. If I can ever find that image or video, I may cut the actual one into that place afterwards, but... yeah, the composer, he might, you know, he might be, I don't know. I don't think they expressly say. I don't think they do. He's definitely a gentler soul, let's say. And this is Iron Blue Intention, I think is what this song is called. Also really good. Each to their own. Oh, of course. No, I know. Making an observation is not the same as making an observation is. Let's put it this way. Making an observation is not the same thing as considering that observation to be negative. This music is incredible. Oh my goodness, I love it. No, this music's great. It's like FG music? FG. You have to forgive me, I'm not sure I understand. Alright. I need you not here. It's supposed to home in on him, but it does not always nail its target. Hit the hunchback, please. I probably need to move to the axe. This is a good weapon, but it's very imprecise. Fighting games. Oh yeah. It definitely does have that feel. Let's move to how much damage does Globus do? Probably not much. Let's look. Can't use the Dominuses. I have hatred and anger. Where's the other one? Did I miss it? Oh no, I guess not. I could use Numa. No, Globus is awful. Okay. Let's go back to Numa. Alright. This is genuinely one of the best tracks I've heard. It's great. It's really good. I'm about to go roam the streets with a whiplet. I have this on my playlist. Don't you worry about it. There's an area near me that looks like that's so old. It looks like it could come straight out of Bloodborne or Castlevania at night. I love that type of scenery. But the problem with it is we didn't start building like England, as I say, and other parts of Europe have such an old rich history. America has an old rich history, but it's not. It doesn't have a lot of its pageantries to it. It was very much more. It was very much land more than it was, you know, stone. So the oldest that the stuff near us can even be is, well, and especially in my area, is 300 or some odd years, which is not that old. For frame of reference, my grandmother's mother is still with us, and she's a third that age. So 300 years isn't that big of a deal. We're a long-lived people, my family, for some reason. I don't know why. I'm glad. Good lord. But I don't know why. Alright, I am going to need to do some... These things are poison. I'm just trying to kind of get my bearings and fill in the map a little bit, and these guys are getting on my nerves. That's fine. Oh, look at it. It is an Alucard bridge. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's been around for... Like you said, I'm Vlad taking the dragon. Oh, well, no, not quite. The actual... Oh, did I pick up any potions? I didn't. I don't have very much gold, so I'll just eat some meat. The guy that actually inspired Dracula, Vlad Tepes, he was intense. That looks to me like that would be a mimic. I'm gonna open it, but it looks like that's what that is. It isn't. Glad I opened it. He was intense, and not always in the bad way. I mean, a lot of it in the bad way, don't get me wrong, but not always in the bad way. Some of his stuff, I was like, okay, wow, I get it. I mean, it's why I think, as I understand, a lot of my team is in Romania, and it's why they actually have there are celebrations that circle around him as being someone who's willing to do whatever it took to save the people of the time. I mean, he did some awful stuff to do that, but I mean, at the same time, if you care about people, or you care about honesty, or you care about whatever else. But it was said that he left an actual golden cup. Oh, there's a boss fight. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I know it's a boss fight. But anyway, it said he left a golden cup on the edge of a... Oh, I know what this is.
Take this. Next one coming up.
This is the same as the toy maker from the freaking... It's the same as the toy maker from the freaking Lords of Shadow 2. If we ever have a live stream on our Duo channel, this should be our starting soon. We can do that. I bet we could do that. Oh, you saw the game over screen change too. How great is that? Changes to Dracula. But anyway, it was said that Dracula, the guy that inspired Dracula, Vlad, actually had such a focus on honesty that he had a, and granted, this could seem extreme, I get it, but he had such a focus on, I'm gonna pause it real quick so I can say this, but he had such a focus on honesty that he laid set a golden cup or goblet in the center square of town, and nobody touched it. Nobody would take it. And that he had a traveling merchant who had come through and had some ducats stolen from him. And Dracula says, we'll track him down, we'll figure this out, but in the meantime, I want you to, reimburse him from the treasury. Meanwhile, quietly, he tells the treasurer, I want you to give him one more than he's supposed to have, or something like that. It may have actually been 6, but anyway, let's just say it was 1 for the sake of argument. He says, I want to get him extra, and the merchant counts it and counts it and counts it, and he keeps coming up extra. He goes back to Dracula and he said, I'm sorry, you reimbursed me, but you gave me too much. And Dracula said, I know. And if you wouldn't have told me about him, I'd have had you killed. I'd have had you put on a pike. But you told me about him, so you guys leave in peace. We'll find the person that stole from you and take care of him on our time. And I'm like, yes, that's extreme. Granted, we're in what we'd consider to be more civilized. We're not more civilized. We're just more... we consider our humanity to be more civilized now, but we're not more civilized. We're more devious in our... We're more devious in our evils, or we're more nuanced in our evils is all we are. We actually can commit greater evils now than we ever could. But you might consider that overblown, and I wouldn't disagree with you, but in a time where people were killing each other over land and religious conversion, which is, by the way, what bred Dracula to be Dracula. Yeah, Dracula was Dracula because he had, we're definitely more not more civilized. We just like to think we're good people. That's what breaks our civility. It's the fact that we like to think that we're good people when we instead don't realize that we aren't. We think we're good people, therefore there's no need to improve. When in reality, we're not good people. We should be working constantly to improve. And it's the ones of us oftentimes that think we're the best that are the worst. But I've also observed the opposite, that there's some people that think themselves to be the worst that are awesome and wonderful people. Dunning-Kruger effect, but as far as personality goes, not necessarily intelligence, but anyway, that's what Dracula was born of. He was a religious person. He was with one religious group. I believe he was Catholic. And then the Ottoman Turks, which were Muslim, were doing land conquering and trying to convert everybody into Islam. And he was captured and kind of casualty with his brother, and his brother took the position of conversion very well, and he was very upset and went back and started fighting him like crazy. And I once shared a packet of biscuits with my girlfriend. Pretty good person, I think. Well, that is good. That's a nice thing to do for certain. But you aren't. You're honestly the epitome of evil, because you've called what I know you mean to be cookies biscuits. I know that when you say biscuits, you're not talking about biscuits. Just teasing with you. I would argue, though, to be honest, I would argue you're a good person. I think that you're a good person, or at least I would argue that you I would argue that you're a cut above a lot of people that I meet in the day-to-day, and certainly most of the people I meet in the day-to-day. And it's not a hierarchical thing. It's just I thought I might get you with that. Again, biscuits in the South are not even what biscuits are in the North of the same country, so it's fine. I get it. I'm just picking on you. But yeah, it's the thing about it is that they were trying to the Ottoman Turks were trying to take take Dracula's land, convert his people, convert him, and he had to be drastic to inspire the fear that he needed to protect his people. But he also had that fear instilled in his people because he didn't want people to steal from each other inside of that. Now, the things he did that were awful were he locked up homeless beggars and sickly people, and he burned the whole thing down, saying that beggars and them were such a were a pox basically to people, because they made money where they made their money off of other people's hard work. And while I agree with the philosophy of that there are people, and I'm not saying all people, there are some people that are just down on their luck and they need help, but there's a pretty fair homeless population here in the States. I do know that there are, we have panhandlers, that's what we would call them, and they don't do anything. They're wearing nice shoes and they're wearing nice clothes, and they ask for money anyway. And they get mad when you bring them food, right? I've tried that before. You bring them food and be like, oh, you're probably hungry. I'm not going to give you money to go and get alcohol or anything, but I'll give you, food. And they're like, oh, I don't want food. I want money. I want to buy Nikes. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. Then I've also had people that are super sweet, and I buy them food, and they're like, oh my goodness, thank you. Can I microwave it and eat it right here? And I'm like, yes, of course you can. So I have only about 14 to 15 people on my Discord. These are the people I might regularly talk to on social media. And it's probably only about 5. The others are just good people I check in. Well, then that's good. I think that's nice too. And it's good to have an inner circle, or it's good to have a circle of friends like that too. The more trust you put out there, the more... I don't like people. That's a fair assessment. But that was my thing, is like, I wouldn't lock up homeless people or people that weren't working or begging or panhandling. I wouldn't lock them up and burn them in a building. And this is my thing, if I were ever homeless, and I've been in a floating from home to home circumstance, I've been in that position. So I don't ever want that to happen again. But if ever I found myself stuck, the first thing that I would do is I'd busk. I'd find a place to perform my card card stuffs. I'd find a place to do that, and I would busk and ask for, you know, donations basically based on my performances. I would take that money and I would take care of Anna and Z, and then hopefully if I could make enough of a business out of it, I would be able to take care of me too, but I'd take care of them. I know I've said it before, but I've run into so many fakes and it got so tiring. There was a specific group of gamers on Twitter on Twitter and YouTube that I'm so grateful that I swiftly avoided. Oh, I bet so. There's a lot of people out there that do what they do for likes and views. Like, there are people out there that you come in and they're so nice to you, and then you miss 1 or 2 streams, and then all of a sudden well, where are you? Where were you? Where's my support? And it's like, you're not entitled to that support. Support's something that people give you if they feel like it. You're not entitled to it. Be appreciative that you got it. Perform music, I'll play, but that'd be awesome. Ah, man, if ever we get to catch up for real, and I mean it, whether it be here or whether it be over there, let's do that. Let's have a jam sesh. I'll bring the guitar or whatever, and let's have a jam session. I would love to do that. I haven't had a jam session in 6 years, and it would be so much fun. I'm not great. I'll have to get back into. I mean, I'm rusty for sure, but I would have fun with it. I'd love to. Okay, I need your. I need his glyph is what I need.
Next one coming up. What now? What now?
I need your glyph. How do I get it from you?
Next one coming up.
How do I absorb your freaking glyph? I'll play any genre you used to play. Oh, that would be awesome. I'll let him kill me if I don't get it this time. I just need. I don't remember. I know that that's the thing, because I remember him. I remember that he has regenerating health or unlimited health. I can't remember which. So what you have to do is you have to actually get his glyph, but I don't remember how to get it. I think that's such a freaking cool picture. Yeah, I'll play just about any genre too. I played a lot more metal than anything else, honestly, which is kind of unusual because the guitar that I have is more built for rock. But played a lot of metal, and I mean some heavy metal too. Everything from System of a Down to Cradle of Filth. So Cradle of Filth being the heavy metal, System of a Down just being metal. Shoot.
What now?
There we go. I took his glyph, he couldn't get through the wall, he got fried by his own thing. Did my stream freeze? Has Retro's mic, have I died? Why is it all fire and red? I thought it was going to be, oh, no, I didn't think it did. Maybe it did. I didn't see it do that, but it could have. Fortis fuel. Let's do Wildman glyph. There we are. I can actually now pass through solid walls and go back and do stuff. Now I'm also going to get a better rapier glyph. Melio Confedore. Whoops. This is where we start getting into, these are all the different, so if you have the names are low, you start getting Vol, that's stronger, and then Melio is the strongest. So I need of that particular type, so. Let's see if it's actually. I mean, it's definitely fast. Oh, that did alright damage. I hate Tin Men. Nope. Ouch. Alright, there we go. How's it April already? Time better slow down. We're all trying. I didn't do anything. I agree with you though, because it's our daughter's birthday is this month, and she's hitting a markered moment, a very important markered moment, and it's just sad. She's such a sweetheart about everything. Oh, that's why. She's such a sweetheart about everything. It just does. It goes way too quickly. I was drawing pictures with her and talking with her yesterday, and she's just like, she's just such a sweetheart. She just takes it on. It's like, how is it that you're already this old? And she was like, I don't know. I was like, I can't believe it. Yeah, I know, me neither, but what are you gonna do? Well, and our daughter is very eloquent, let's say, in her speech patterns. She actually is very, very well spoken. Because I will let you know that the seminal year I'm talking about is she's not like 5. she's 31. She was old. Well, I don't feel like I'm all that old. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, you don't, you chupacabra. I am going to use a magical ticket and bail, because I just realized I didn't save my game after Wallman, and I'd have to do that again. I don't want to. We're going in the back door. I am older than 30. I'm older than 31 too. I'll say that much. I don't usually give out what my age is, though. Just reason being is just because it's possibly a little bit of an ego stroke, but I have a lot of people that guess that I'm several years younger than I am, and that makes me really happy, and I want that to continue to be the case, and people not know my age. You said that, and the minute you said that, the first image that came to my mind was the end of the first Kingsman. The promise that she makes to him, and then he goes back to the prison cell to do that. And if you look at I don't know if you've seen Kingsman. I'm sure you probably have. I need that. Golly. Yeah, they're gonna kill me. I'd say that's a good guess, but I can say no more. I said, oh no, I want to copy. I said, I think there are a lot of people that underestimate my age, and I'm flattered by it, but, you know, it could just be that they're very polite, and I just enjoy the compliment. Oh, if you've seen Kingsman in the end, also, if you want a fun fact, the code that he enters into the door to go into that, to talk to that lady, or to finish up with that lady that's made him the promise that she's made him, the code that he uses on that door is actually the 4-letter word of thing that they're going to do, starting with A and ending with an L. So I'll call this my last pass on this one. This will be just kind of a short stream or a concise one, because we've actually made a decent amount of progress. We've technically beat 3 bosses. We've certainly beat 2, if you don't want to count the other. Oh, he got. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the 10 points to Huffley Puffley. Oh my goodness. I think they just absolutely annihilated me. But I do think that this is a good place to call it. We got, like I said, beat 3 bosses. It's been about 2 hours. I think I'm going to give it... I think I'm going to call that a successful stream. I had so many issues. I've actually been working on getting the stream going for about 2 hours. And I'm tired. All of my overlays were gone. All of my music was gone. So I had to figure everything out from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and move it back over because my goodness,